finally from me, Frampton on the weekend becoming two-weight world champion. Yeah. Do you have any sort of regrets in the way your situation with Carl was when he was with Mike Trudeau?
Not really, because that was a long time ago, you know. And despite people thinking that I sit at home with a voodoo doll of Carl Frampton and a needle, I completely respect and never really. I'm not like the kind of guy that sits there going, "Please don't win, please don't win." If you're good enough to go and win, fair play to you, and that's a fantastic win. And when you see the togetherness of the team, I know how that feels. So I have admiration for them rather than regret. I couldn't work in that environment. I wouldn't have been true to myself if I did. So therefore I can't have any regrets. If he was with me, he would have earned a lot more money for that fight, and he'd be a pay-per-view fighter, so he'd be making millions every fight. He's a very good fighter, and despite you know, Shane McGuigan likes to give me slide digs and call me a wanker behind my back and all sorts, he's an excellent trainer. Barry McGuigan is, you know, been a huge part of the journey, and I have admiration for that team. Never, you know, disgust or regret. I really am genuinely pleased for them, because I know what it would have meant to them, and they did take the fight for small money in comparison to the but once you've got the money like they got against Quigg, you're kind of like free rolling, if that makes sense. So for me, and it's hard to tell fans, the first thing I'll sit down and want to do for you as a fighter is make sure that you are secure for life. From there, we're free rolling. Yeah. So let's go and be great now. You know, you've had the big fights, you beat Quigg, you got the paydays. Now let's go and be great. Well, the first step is go to America, move up a fight Santa Cruz. Done. Now, you know, I won't go too much into the contractual side, but you know, we're pushing for a rematch with Carl Frampton, and I think that's got to be next.
Quigg rematch.
Yeah, and I would probably think they've got a rematch with Santa Cruz. Although, but I mean, don't worry too much about what's said.
Okay.
I think I would be surprised if there wasn't a rematch called. Then you got the Lee Selby fight. So there's interesting times. You know, Quigg is desperate to fight Frampton again. You've got a Selby fight, but Frampton, by the way, is not going to fight till November, December. Lee Selby's boxed twice in 16 months, and he ain't got a date. He should have boxed 4 times, maybe 5 times in that period. So are you going to say to him, you now have to wait till December to fight, or do you want to fight Josh Warrington in October, November? You know, but there's all kinds of different. I mean, if I was Santa Cruz now, and don't forget they've got the same advisor, right, what's the date for the rematch? Right, you just had the fight of the year out of me. I've lost my belt. It was a voluntary defence. Right, where's the rematch? Can't be in Belfast because it's a winter fight. Let's do it in LA. No, well, the compromise is actually do it in New York again. Let's this time open the top tier at the Barclays Centre, because you have to realise this is a great fight, a big fight. And by the way, the Irish will come in their trebles next time, even the expats, the local guys, and do that fight again. Lee Selby will be saying to Al Heyman, right, give me the unification then, because I've only had 2 fights, and you know, you told me I'll be in the big fights, but there's a perfect chance. You know, I mean, people come to me and say that's a huge pay-per-view fight. It's not. You know, Quigg against Frampton, which was the biggest fight either guy could be involved with by a mile, did disappointing numbers. Right? It wasn't a flop, but it didn't.
Better or worse than Bellew?
Worse. Yeah. Quite. But that did good numbers. I mean, but they also had a big card. But so Frampton against Selby is definitely not a Sky pay-per-view fight. But there are 3 or 4 broadcasters right now who are planning to do pay-per-view boxing. So, you know, I've got 1 fight left with Lee Selby, right? So I've got to be involved in the TV. If it's not on Sky, okay, just, you know, we'll come up with a deal. But it doesn't, for me, with the fights that are out there at the moment, I can't get that fight on Sky pay-per-view. A bit like Crawler Linares. You know, people say to me, "That's a pay-per-view fight." Says who? Me. I want to see that. I said, yeah, but it doesn't deliver the numbers. We know what delivers the numbers. Anthony Joshua, Brook against Gennady Golovkin, Brook against Khan, you know, Hay against Joshua, Fury against Joshua, Fury against Mayweather against Pacquiao. You know, and I think there are that many big fights out there at the moment. that it's going to take something substantial now, which is good news for the fans again, to make that pay-per-view cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Done.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, you get your own.
Fans, if you guys haven't already done so, make sure you download the Behind the Gloves app. It's free, and it features really cool stuff like a fight calendar that reminds you of all the upcoming fights, and it allows for you to, with one click, to remind yourself directly to your phone. And it also features 24/7 breaking news that's going on in boxing. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that and subscribe to this channel.